I wanted to ask about open rescue. Can you explain this to our listeners?
Open rescue is a tactic pioneered in Australia in the 1980s and then spread very quickly around the world to Europe and then the United States in the 1990s that was basically a transformation of what the Animal Liberation Front had been doing for a couple decades at that point. And the Animal Liberation Front, as Peter knows, because in many ways, whether you like them or hate them, Peter, they were inspired by your book.
Right.
Even the name, the Animal Liberation Front, I think partly was inspired by your book in 1975. Their goal was just to maximize economic damage to the industry. So they'd break into fur farms, laboratories, oftentimes just release animals into the wild, certainly do as much economic sabotage as possible, but really maximize the physical and economic disruption to industries that are exploiting animals. Open rescue was a novel tactic that was focused more on social and moral and cultural disruption. Instead of trying to maximize the amount of damage that was done economically, they tried to tell a powerful story by identifying individual animals who were suffering and pointing out our moral obligation to give them aid. But most Americans just don't understand even just the sheer filth in these facilities. I mean, even supposedly humane and well-kept organic facilities, the amount of feces and decomposing bodies, and they would be in the midst of this incredible suffering and darkness, incredible filth. And they brought this kindness into this facility and showed you how powerful it was emotionally just to take one of these poor creatures and try and give them aid. And they got an enormous amount of attention. And I think it's because it harnessed a basic moral intuition that I think both of you have written about, that human beings and maybe other animals have, which is when we see other beings suffering, we actually kind of want it to stop. And an open rescue is trying to hack that basic moral sentiment and create as much cultural and moral and psychological disruption to the industry as possible. And so that's what I've spent most of the last 15 years of my life trying to scale up.